Okay, so I have logged into my omlab.com. So as I was saying in the previous part, you can either log into my omlab.com or you can log into your Pearson account, and both of them should actually take you to this website or this web page. So once you are in your section, whether you are from section 6 or section 20, then and you go to assignments, it will show you these 4 assignments, but it will show you a 5th one that should have popped up this morning, which talks about project management simulation, or which has the title of project management simulation. So basically, what you will do is you will click on it. It might take a few minutes for it to load. I mean, minutes might be an exaggeration, but generally it takes a couple of minutes to load, depending upon how much load is there on the server. So you click on it, and you can see that it's loading. While it's loading, I'm going to clear all drawings. I'm going to move to mouse, and we will wait for it to load. Okay, so for me, it actually loaded relatively quickly. It did not really take the simulation a long time to load. Let me see if I can make the screen bigger. Control plus. No, this is the best it will go to, I guess. Okay, so as I said, when you will run the simulation, it will start from a basic introductory screen. Most of the information on this screen is something that I've already told you, but I would again highly encourage you to go through this again. Let me head on it. Let me go to draw. Okay, so basically, again, as you can see, it talks about profits, it talks about the budget, it talks about the time. Let's start the intro. So the intro will take you through the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. It will explain what the simulation is. I have sort of gone through it in my previous lecture, or in the previous part of this lecture. But when you are running it, go through it. So first one, second step, and as I explained earlier, this simulation is run in 2 different phases. I'm going to come to it in a couple of minutes. Go through all these 3, 4, 5, and then next and next. Perfect. So this is where the actual simulation starts, right? So it says to start a simulation, review the documents. Again, this is also something that they've said previously. Go through all these documents, read them. It will give you a basic idea of what's happening. And now you are actually in the simulation. So as I said, this simulation has 2 different phases. The first phase is that you actually will have to plan the entire project. So the project path is over here. What do we mean by planning the entire project? Basically what it means is that you have to plan out each and every single activity in this project. So as of now, without doing anything, this project is roughly $58,000 less than the budget, but it is also taking 45 days over the prescribed time. So which basically means that the completion time for this project is 125 days. But if you continue the project like this, it will take you 170 days to complete it. And since you are going with the slowest contractors, that's why the cost is less as well. But that is not what we want. We want to complete the project in 125 days or less, and we want to keep the cost under $162,000. So I'm going to write these 2 things here. So basically the task or our goal is time. Ooh, that is too thick. Let me clear all drawings. Let me go to draw. And, okay, where do you, oh, that's where the problem is. Okay. Yeah, now it should be fine. And let me clear all drawings. Okay. So basically the time that you have should be less than 125 days. And the your cost should be less than $162,000. And I know that accounting people will say the dollar sign should come here, and so bear with me for that one. Anyway, so moving on. How do you start planning? So the first step is that you click on the first activity. So as soon as you will click on activity A, it will show you that activity A is excavation, and then there are these 3 different contractors. So the first contractor will complete the work in 11 days, and will cost $4,900. The second one will complete the same task in 7 days, but will cost $7,000. The third one will complete it in 5 days, but will cost $9,000. Now, you have the option of selecting anyone you want. So let's just say we will select the second one, and we will press save. So as soon as we will do that, you will notice that that activity has turned from white to gray. When it turns to gray, it means you have planned for it. So this activity is planned for. Now, I'll click on the activity one more time because there are a couple of other options. One option is that if you want to work overtime, then you have to pay extra, but the task time will reduce. If you want to increase the number of workers, you'll have to pay extra, but the time will reduce as well. So you can select a different contractor and you can choose these options. It's up to you. How do you want to plan it? But basically, you have to do the same thing for all the activities. And once all the activities or all the tasks in this project are gray, only then this button would turn green. Because once you have planned for all the activities, only then you can start building the house. So basically, the 2 different phases that are there in this project is that the first phase, you have to plan for all the tasks. In other words, basically what you're saying is I'm going to plan for this project, and you can only start executing the project once you have planned for all the activities, right? So let's do one more. Let's say we will do B. So now that you have planned for A, you will see that the delay is a little bit less. Earlier it was 170, now it's showing 41 days. So for B, for no reason, I'm just giving you an example. I'm going to go for the best one. And I'm also going to pay $312 extra to reduce the time by 1 day. And so right now when I press save, now you will see that the activity has changed even further. So you keep on doing this. For C, you can't do anything about it. This is the one where it is. These are inspections. So C, L, and Z are inspections. You can just ignore them. Just go to D. Let's say again, I'll go for this one. So this is $6,500 for 3 days. This is $1,500 for same 3 days. Obviously, it makes sense to do this, not this. I'll press save, and you will see that the time is going down. So it started from 170, now it's gone to 150. But my cost is also getting higher. So you keep on doing this, and once all of them are planned for, then you can start the simulation. Now, when you start the simulation, one thing that I will caution you is that it's not necessary that everything will go as per your plans. So you will face some issues. So some contractor will face some issues and it will be delayed, etc., etc. So keep some time extra with you in your planning because things might not go as per your plan. Generally, each of these simulations take anywhere between 40 minutes to an hour. You have 3 tries to do it. So you can do your first try as your basic try to get a hang of how the simulation is, and then if you want, you can do a second try as well. Yeah, I mean, that's essentially the basic simulation. I think I've gone through most of the things regarding the simulation. Just to add a few other details over here, you have it shows you basically that if the activity is white, it's unplanned. If it's gray, then it's planned. Once you start the simulation, if an activity is in progress, it will show as green. If the activity is completed, it will show as dark green. And the orange ones, as I said, are inspection points. As of now, the critical path is the one that is highlighted, which is A, B, C, D, E. Then it goes to J, K, L, N, P, R, S, T, W. Now, How will this change? So let's say for O, right now, if I hover my mouse over it, if for O the slag is 13, for M the slag is 52. Wow, that's a lot of slag. If you don't know what these things are, if you don't know what early start, late start, early finish, late finish, and slag means, go back to my lecture, and I actually would highly recommend that you actually go through the lecture first before attempting the simulation, because the lecture has all the basics for attempting the simulation. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of anything else to add. Generally, when students run the simulation in class, I obviously can take their questions live. This will be a luxury that we do not have access to right now. But we have a review session on Wednesday, so do give it at least one try before Wednesday, and then if there are any questions, I will take them on Wednesday. You also have the option of, actually I wanted to show it to you. Let me go back to and log into our wow, really gonna ask me to do this? Yeah, it is asking me. Okay, let me log in. So this is approved. Yeah, in. And let me go to, let's say, section 6 or 20. Both of them are the same. Okay. So the reason I came here is because you have this forum here, which I've labeled forum for discussing your questions. And basically what this forum does is, if you have any questions that you have, just put your questions here. And I review this forum every Monday and Wednesday. So if there are any questions, I will reply to them. Generally, I encourage students to enter their questions here, because if you have a question, there might be many other students who have the same question. So answering them on a public forum would not only help you, but would also help other students as well. So for example, if I click on it right now, there are no questions, which is not great. Because generally when there is a review session, there are students who ask a lot of questions. So for the review sessions, there are some students who cannot attend. So for future, I will be recording those sessions. But again, I mean, if you have questions, feel free to post them on this discussion board or on this forum. And yeah, so if I go back to our simulation, this is what our simulation is. Go through it. Let me know if you have any questions. I mean, based on my previous experience, the most questions that I generally get during class for this simulation was, "Oh, our simulation is not running." So the reason it would not be running is because you might not have planned for all the activities. So all these activities have to be planned for. So for example, for Y, let's say you're just going to stick with this one. So as you now see, Y turned from white to being gray. So all these have to be grayed out before you can actually run the simulation. So with that said, good luck with the simulation. Generally, it's a very fun activity in class. I hope you enjoy this activity in your homes as well. And there are 2 more simulations that are coming after this. So let me know your experiences. And yeah, I will talk to you soon. Take care, guys.